will speak in times of crisis. God will speak in times of crisis. Crisis is a time of intense difficulty, trouble, or danger. A time when a difficult or important decision must be made. Face, confront and deal with or accept a difficult or unpleasant task, fact, or situation. And for those of us that have been watching the news, we know that there is a crisis that's going on in Afghanistan. But for those that are not aware, I'm just going to give you a summation. So the crisis in Afghanistan, after almost 2 decades of war in Afghanistan and just weeks before the scheduled withdrawal of U.S. forces, the Taliban swiftly returned to power in the capital, toppling the government and driving tens of thousands of people to try to escape the country. The fall of the capital wiped out the last part of the government control after a ferocious Taliban offensive that took one major city, one after the other, in a matter of days. The president of Afghanistan fled on Sunday. Hours later, the Taliban leaders took the place in the president's palace. Thousands of Afghans and Americans, frightened of being killed, are trying to flee the country, seeking refuge in their international airport, which is held by foreign military forces trying to assist with evacuations. So that's what's going on with our current situation in the news. But the Israelite people are also familiar with crisis. And we know the familiar story about Moses and the Israelites and Pharaoh. And so there was a commission that the Lord gave Moses back in Exodus 3 and 10. And it says, "Now go, I am sending you to Pharaoh. You must lead my people Israel out of Egypt." And then the Lord went on to tell Moses in Exodus 14 and 8 that the Lord was going to harden his heart and that he was going to chase after the people of Israel who had left with fists raised in defiance. The Egyptians chased after them with all the forces in Pharaoh's army, all his horses and chariots, his charioteers and his troops. The Egyptians caught up with the people of Israel as they were camped beside the shore. So you see, the people of Israel are also familiar with crisis. And when you are having someone chase after you, the natural reaction is to panic, to have fear. And unfortunately, the people of Israel complained. And you can find that in Exodus 14, 10, and 11. As Pharaoh approached, the people of Israel looked up and panicked when they saw Egyptians overtaking them. They cried out to the Lord, and they said to Moses, "Why did you bring us out here to die in the wilderness? Weren't there enough graves for us in Egypt? What have you done to us? Why did you make us leave Egypt?" And just like the Afghans and the Americans that's over in Afghanistan, just like the Israelites that have faced crisis, we too, as the body of Christ, do face crisis. But there's something that we can learn through Exodus 14, 13 through 14. And it says, "This is what the leader of God spoke to the people of God. Moses said, 'Don't be afraid. Just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. The Egyptians you see today will never be seen again. The Lord himself will fight for you. Just stay calm.'" So I am telling you, people of God, when you go through crisis, God is speaking. He is telling us, don't be afraid. Just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you. Stay calm. The Lord goes on to say in Isaiah 41 and 10, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So I leave you with this. In the midst of crisis, if you don't remember anything else that I've said, don't be afraid. Stand still and watch the Lord work.